Taking a look here at Operazione A, the Reluctant Offensive, and it's definitely a difficult mission. Basically, our entire goal is to attack and seize Barani. This is one of those actual missions where if you take a look at our actual reinforcements, we actually even have black shirt divisions. I'm sure many of you guys have heard of the fascist black shirts, sort of the Italian version of the SS. We also have a number of different reinforcements, mainly ground assets, things like that. But keep in mind that the Italians are not exactly expected to do that well here. You know, we're not exactly made to be fighting a superpower, but we're going to do our absolute best. I want to jump on here on my phone to make sure I can see your messages without having to alt-tab out of this game, because this is one of those missions, this is one of those campaigns where I really need to pay attention to every single move I make. It's just that simple. Let's go ahead and take a look. What to do first? We have to take a look at the area we actually need to conquer. Sono ridotto Capuzzo. Sidi Barani. Wow. It's a long way away. We've got a lot of moving through the desert to do, so let's go ahead and do it. So right now this is just the deployment phase. A lot of the units are fixed, but I will be bringing forward a lot of other units. I'm hoping that the enemy doesn't have any units over there to the west, but you never know. And you can just see the massive amount of HQs we have in this particular setup. That is pretty awesome. Go ahead and drop another one over here. These are mainly Libyan units, as you can see, essentially colonial forces. A lot of setting up, as you can see, in this particular scenario. And this, of course, being an Italian campaign, the main Italian offensive, there's a lot to do. We also have a bunch of motorized units. I'm really looking forward to see how those guys perform. Motorbikes, etc. The Italians had a lot of motorcycles, and quite good motorcycles. Like I said, motorcycles in a war setting are good for not too many things. Obviously, reconnaissance, scouting ahead. They're very useful, but in terms of actually being battle-worthy, we're going to have to see if these guys can prove themselves, because I'm not convinced. And we could select stats of these units. Personally, I like to sort of micromanage and move each individual unit, especially the HQs. But these infantry, they can also use a little bit of extra movement. Okay, so I think I'll keep things the way they are right now, and we shall continue, or begin. I want to see to the west if we have any enemy units as well. Looks like we do, and I don't know what this F is. Fixed. Ah, okay. They can't move, essentially, or not yet, anyway. We also have some units over here that are also fixed. So obviously, we probably also want to attack up here, if I'm not mistaken. But we'll find out as we proceed through the game. Okay, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and end the turn here. Turn it over to the Allies. Now, the Italians are not often represented in games about wars in North Africa, so I really like this touch, and I think it's worth it. I mean, you know, everybody thinks, oh, no, the Italians couldn't fight worth a nickel, but actually, they were able to inflict some pretty serious losses on the British. So, you know, say what you will, they definitely know how to fight. All right, let's take a look here. So we have to hold Bardia, obviously. Let's go ahead and move forward. Ridotta Capuzzo. Move forward over here as well. And I already see one of the enemy units, the Hussars, Desert Rats, as far as I'm concerned. We'll go ahead and bombard them. And I will send in my Libyan forces. Actually, no, this is, excuse me, this is the Treviso Infantry Division. So this is actually right from Italy. Fair enough, fair enough. We'll move forward with our motorbike units as well. I'm going to send one of them over here to sort of cut some of the enemy off. Send one of them over here to do the same thing. Move forward with machine gun units, as many as we can. Even, of course, some good old-fashioned infantry units. We also want to make sure that these HQs remain fairly close to the men that they're supporting, because there's a lot of men that are going to be moved during this battle. Maletti. Move forward with Maletti and the rest of his men. So yeah, we are attacking that Desert Rats unit with a major attack. Yes, and to be fair, Byron, this scenario is a very big one. There's a lot of battles. We've done some of them earlier here on Slytherin Group that are much smaller, much more manageable. This one is kind of one of the tough battles. It's, you know, you're playing as the Italian army, the entire Italian army, and your goal is to basically move the British out of North Africa. That's not easy. You know, the way that a lot of also Allied generals saw North Africa was essentially Hitler's underbelly. So they figured it was probably the easiest place to hit, all things considered. And by the way, there is one of our black shirt units. Just want to see if there's anything of value up here. We obviously have units here, so I might try to move them, but they are fixed. So I guess they're just made to hold this area under any circumstances. They might also be unfixed at some point in the battle. Right now, that doesn't seem to be the case. Everyone south. We have to take this road anyway, so we might as well move forward. Now, the command structure in this game is very advanced, I would say, and we'll take a look here at the command structure pretty soon. But, you know, there's everything from, you know, sort of the field marshal to the 4-star general to the 3-star general, etc., all working for one another, and it's really, really a cool mechanic. Ooh, the rest of these guys, come on, boys. Where are these guys from? Veroli. I'm not sure if anyone from Slytherin is watching the stream, because I actually don't know where these places in Italy are, like Veroli. Forward with the HQs. And of course, if we start seeing some more units, we are definitely going to continue the assault. I'm also going to bring in some recon planes here to inspect what the enemy has. I think we might also have, I could be wrong, but I think we might also have some units, some German units. Maybe not many, but maybe a few. Just as, like, basically advisors on the battlefield. I don't think they'll actually be represented, but maybe they will be. Okay, here we go, guys. Could we make a few more moves? Yeah, we could. Let's do that. Come on, boys. So everybody knows about the red wave of the Soviets, but I never expected the green wave of the Italians. They definitely have enough units to put up a hell of a fight. Maletti, go forward. There's going to be a lot of movement during this turn. Okay, with the radar, I think... Oh, like over here. Yeah. I haven't had very good luck with the sonar, but we'll try. Okay, nice. Alright, wish us luck, guys. This is going to be a big one. Alright, so we're definitely spotting what could be British units. When you see the sort of the British symbol there, the British Army symbol, it could mean certain units, it could just mean the suspicion of certain units. We'll see what happens. Forza Italia! Yeah, no, it is just scenarios, but for instance, like in this one, it is more or less a campaign. It's an Italian campaign. It's 36 turns. It's going to take a very long time to finish, and this is really the entire Italian army. So I would actually put this on the same level, and this could just be me, but I put this on the same level as, you know, any sort of campaign in any other game. Let's go ahead and see what we can do. All right. Oh, something happened there. Maybe we didn't finish the attack completely. Well, we've got to go for the execution phase. Okay, here we go. So let's grab these guys. Unfortunately, they're fixed. Wow, that's too bad. Let's see if we can do anything with the arty. Yep. So we're immediately going to start firing on what I think are some greyhounds. We're sending in the Uragano sapper company. Let's go ahead and get some defensive fire as well. We'll send in the motorbikes here. The Uragano motorbike company, I suppose. So we're going to go and send these guys through. This is really our mechanized division, or many of our mechanized divisions, and I'm hoping they do a good job. Obviously, we want them to do a good job, because that means a lot more victory points for us in the long run. These HQs forward. Get this guy moving forward as well. Definitely the guys over here, because we still have some enemies. And I think with the enemy here, especially this early on in the War of North Africa during World War II, it makes sense that they're not going to have many units out here. It looks like they've got the Escart Force with maybe an anti-tank gun. Not exactly that terrifying, to be honest. We are having a really interesting frontal wave. I mean, that thing actually looks like something I'd want to run away from instead of stand and fight against. This could overrun quite a lot of British armies, especially since I'm assuming, and this is an assumption, that there probably weren't nearly as many Brits in North Africa as Italians at the time, because the amount of forces we have here just seems unsurmountable. I have never seen anything like this. At least not since playing Soviets in other games. Let's keep on going. Come on. Come on, boys. Boys and girls? Nope, no girls. Sorry, it's 1941. Send this guy forward. Sending him through as well. And Carri Armati, which means armored car. Move the armored cars forward here so that they can at least attack next turn. Just look at this, guys. We're trying to surround the entire army. I think you guys can kind of see what we're doing. We're sort of combing the desert. It's just one big net, and we hope to catch all of these guys. Of course, our main goal is Sidi Barani, which I think is all the way up there. Yeah, it's a ways away. I'm definitely going to call in some scout planes to take a look at the situation, make sure everything's going peachy. I doubt it is. And we'll also bring in some sonar. Or radar, excuse me. Sonar's for the ocean. That's right. There we go. Okay. Wish us luck. I think I also want to see... I might have a few more units I can move. Oh, yeah. Can bring in Maletti for the attack. Nice. And the black shirts. No, the black shirts are too tired. Okay, guys. Here we go. No, that's not what I meant, Pixel. I meant in the military, but that's funny that you caught on that one. No, back then there were labs where people were created in tiny cubicles, and a stork would bring the baby. That's how it works. It's how it's always worked, my boy. All right, here we go. Let's press play. Best of luck to our boys, man. Let's go ahead and... I see what he did. I pressed play on the wrong area. It's okay, we can still attack. So we're just gonna go ahead. I am even sending my HQs in for an attack. Yeah, I know it seems crazy, but the enemy here is so badly outnumbered that I'm basically doing everything I can. Yeah, why not? Let's get some artillery fire. A few more caro armati. And again, controlling the coast, I think, is going to be really important. I'm also almost certain that the enemy has destroyers, all sorts of ships off the coast. So if they want to make this difficult for us, it won't be too hard for them. They can basically just try and bombard us non-stop. I will probably leave some units behind, especially a lot of the Libyan units, which may not be so good in battle as the regular Italian units. Just not as much training, their equipment's not as good. I mean, the Italian equipment's not great either, but it's something. Okay, we're still sweeping the desert here. Get all that artillery up if we can. Come on, Maletti, join your man. Yeah, some of these living units are definitely not going to be moving too much. I love the caro armati. Send another one through. Just look how fast they can move. Unbelievable. We might be able to go ahead and do some extra damage. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Obviously, let's hope this works. And again, I don't want to bring everyone forward, but I kind of feel like I need to. Forza! We'll also take a look at that area in the west. Maybe, possibly, not necessarily, but maybe we actually need to go up there and do some damage as well. Take a look. Nope, they're still fixed, so I'm not going to do anything until they get unfixed. And at this point, I think another thing we probably want to do is we want to bring in some radar immediately. Trying to get the larger view of the map here. That's a little better. Yeah, we can't move. And with the radar, so I'm wondering, maybe with the radar, you can only do it if it's, like, really close, something like that. I guess we'll find out in time, but let's go ahead, end the turn, and try and get a good result here against the British. This time we'll do it properly so we actually get to see the action. Oh, Belois. You're still at a very high rank on the leaderboard. Okay, here we go, my friends. Battle commences. Artillery first. They held, man. That's incredible. The Coast Force held. That means we need to keep attacking. Pretty straightforward, as far as I'm concerned. We just need to go for the attack again. Let me go ahead and actually fire these artillery cannons at him. Not quite close enough. That's okay, though. We're just going to attack in force. Do the same with their enemy machine gun infantry, although I don't want to send my HQ. There we go. Libyans, expendable forces, I mean friends of Italia. You must follow me. Can't bombard them, we'll attack them. Got some actual motorcycle divisions here. We'll also bring in our group of, let's take a look here, the 5th Motorized Libyan Infantry Brigade. And they seem to know exactly what they're doing. Here we go. Fire on the artillery. And keep on strolling across the desert. Man, people must get thirsty pretty easy on this, this desert area. Attack with these guys too, attack with these guys too. Again, we're going to overwhelm them with force. That's the goal, to be quick, as swift as we can, overwhelm them with force, and just have the war end quickly. Keep on moving. Let's get that already right there so they can start firing next turn. As you can see, I'm also bringing down some more units to sort of start filling in the gaps here. Boom, sending in some tanks. Anyone that can fight goes. Getting off these cliffs here, like near the wire, absolutely takes more movement points. You can see that the guys cannot move nearly as quickly. But another reason that might happen is because they're away from your from the main HQ that they're connected to, and obviously that causes supply problems, all sorts of stuff. So do keep that in mind too. But a lot of the times when you're crossing these sort of hills, that can absolutely be a problem. So Bardia is no longer being, well, not being attacked. But I still think I want to send out some units to scout. In fact, we're going to dedicate an entire army, one of our armies, a smaller one, just to head out there. The ones that are willing to move, of course. Some AA guns just in case they have any bombers or anything like that, which they probably do. Send the black shirts forward. It's a CCN unit, so we'll bring him forward as well. And more arty? Why not? Okay, guys, this is going to be a big attack. A big attack. That being said, I want to grab our scout planes, see what they have back here. I'm sure they've got something. There we go. And let's see if we can use our radar since we're a bit closer to the coast. I think we should be able to, maybe not. I guess radar is not going to be possible. Fair enough. Okay, let's see what happens. Try to get a few more units forward, if I can. Nope, that's going to be it. Best of luck to our men. Good afternoon. Good evening. Can't believe no one knows. Still no one knows what movie that comes from. It's killing me. Here we go. Alright, guys. Here we go. Enemies using a lot of artillery, too. Bombers. Major attacks. We're desperately trying to dislodge the enemy here. If we need to, we'll use our artillery. We might not have superior artillery, but we have more artillery than the enemy. Man, they are holding out at Hellfire Pass. They will not give that location up. We've got to put an end to that. So, artillery. Unfortunately, this guy's way too far away. So is this guy. So we're going to have to bring him forward for the next round. We're gonna go try again, guys. This is Italy's best. We must win. Attack from the south. Send in the tanks. Even more men. And we're gonna also send some guys to get rid of the enemy here. I don't know what they're thinking, but somehow they think they could just move in with a Colonial Coast Force unit and not get shot at. I don't think so. We can go ahead to the north and see if anything's, if we found anything up here. So far we see nothing. Doesn't mean we're safe. I'm just gonna go take the look at that northern coastline and make sure that got no enemies on our tail, because we could certainly use the rest of the men in this army to join us on the field. Ooh, look at that, a tank! What do you know? Just when you thought things couldn't get any worse, things suddenly get better. Oh. This is just defensive artillery, essentially. And a lot of it is fixed, so there's not much we can do in terms of moving it forward. And yes, I did just send an HQ in for battle. I don't think he's going to have any problem getting rid of that guy, so I feel pretty safe. Okay, here we go. Oh, that's right. We want to do some radar, sonar. It's radar. And looks like we're going to have to go for the scout plane again. Fair enough. I'm going to put this one all the way over here. We know the enemy's got a lot of artillery. It should be really easy to break through if we can break through that initial area where they have tanks, things like that. Let's pop it right there and end the turn. Ah, thanks, Zach. Yeah, the bombs and the air attacks in the game are pretty loud. Obviously, you can always toggle the options. We're at, I think, 20% right now. You can get it down to 14, 10. I'm sure you'll still be able to hear things just fine. But I'll try not to talk when bombs are coming through. Here we go, guys. Man, those Brits are brave. They will not give up that position. But bravery only goes so far. That's right. I'm so annoyed at these guys. I'm even attacking with some of my AT gun units, which are really better for defense. Go ahead and bomb that coastal unit as well. Could probably get him with this unit too. Maybe not. We probably might need to bring this guy forward. Keep up the march, boys. I would imagine also in this particular part of World War II, being near a fresh water source or being near a source of food would be extremely important. So there we go, guys. We're even sending in some tank units here. The amount of guys we're sending in is pretty dramatic. And I'm hoping that's going to be enough to pulverize the enemy. Let's go ahead and make sure we're still checking this area out. Just don't trust it. It feels creepy to me. I think there's something up here. Maybe not, but nothing wrong with checking. So yeah, it seems pretty okay, which means we can take this army and start bringing them back down. So Bardia. Some of the units we will leave in Bardia. That's basically our resupply center. If you Britishers think this is all you're going to get, just wait. Boom. And with the carro armati, it looks like a tank, but really it's either a light tank or it's an armored car. So not too effective. Let's assist with this attack. Even bring in the AA guns. Okay. It's risky. Yeah, Pixel, that Hellfire Pax is a choke point, absolutely. The other thing we could do, I was thinking about going south and coming back up, but look how far south we have to go just to get around Hellfire Pass, and there's no saying what the enemy has at Sofafi. They might have more troops there, but we definitely want to break through Hellfire Pass. That's absolutely a goal of ours. All right, here we go. The battle for Hellfire Pass. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for joining us. All right, here we go, guys. Fingers crossed. I mean, they're definitely getting weaker. Not weak enough. Send this guy behind the lines. Again, I'm not sure if supply points are relevant in this game, but what I do know is right now what we're going to do is we're going to send everybody to attack all the units in this area. So this is a true human wave attack here. Sorry, boys, but it's got to be done. Of course, we'll try to give them some artillery support if we can. Send in the tanks. I mean, I don't know how many more men I could send in, possibly. This guy's still alive. Really, man? Carro armati. This guy should be dead. He can go quite far. Same with the artillery here. And the rest of the Carro Armatis, well, not really Carro Armatis, these guys are just regular Treviso infantry divisions. They do have vehicles, though, capable of moving across the desert very well. Bring that arty forward. Okay, we've got to take this area, am I right? We have to. We've got to get a victory there. Here we go. Pour l'Italia. Thank you, Ivan Khan. See, we can't fix that redster. Hold on one sec. We like to keep the mic not at too high a volume, because once it gets into the red, you hear plosives, which is kind of like, sounds like a mic breaking up. Alright, let's see if that's better, and we are going to commence this attack. Come on. Men, you need to win this one. There we go. Hey! Hellfire Pass is nearly ours, guys. Took a lot of men, but we're actually managing to break through here. Okay, I like this. Unfortunately, like you said, it's a choke point. They're still cutting off a lot of areas with Hellfire Pass. Doesn't mean we can't send in some men to continue the assault, which is exactly what we're going to do here. Of course, we got to send some men in to fight this unit, this infantry unit, pain in the butt. And as you see, odds are 5-1 just for an infantry attack, or excuse me, an artillery strike. We definitely want to try and cram in as many units as we can there to Hellfire Pass. You see the units that can't move too much? Clearly, we need to get their generals closer to them. It's going to be a problem throughout this sort of campaign. There's just a lot of micromanagement. I actually told you guys before, and I've shown you guys this in previous Let's Plays of Desert War, but I think it's important, and that is over here. You've got an amazing setup with the generals, where each one really relies on the other, and if one is not in close proximity to the other, the units will, of course, suffer for it. You can also see beneath the general, basically units that it's lost, and if a unit is lost, there's a skull there. So far, we've been pretty lucky. We haven't lost any units. But once a unit is lost, a little skull appears in place of one of these NATO counters. I just think it's a really cool addition to the game. It's sort of gives you an idea of what's going on, and it's fun. Let's see. I'm even moving forward with the artillery here. Move through with the tanks. Things don't get much better than when you've got tanks. Am I right, guys? Ooh, I like that. And with this living tank unit, we'll move in as well. And I think this attack will be our final hurrah for this stream. Let's hope that we can break the units even more. Still going to try to bring in some more Libyan infantry, but I think they're all pretty tired. And to give them credit, they've been moving the entire battle non-stop, so it's time some of these guys get a rest. Okay, here we go. Okay, guys, this is really the moment of truth. Ooh, nasty artillery right away. And they fired it at our most clumped up unit, so I'm sure that's going to kind of spread out a bit. Artillery attack. Oh boy. Oh yeah, we are right on the front with them now. Now we control Hellfire Pass, or at least it seems pretty evenly matched here. This could work out really well for us. Of course, keep in mind, to win this campaign, this is, I think, one of the longest campaigns in the game. It's 36 turns, you're using the Italian army, and you have to get all the way over here. I mean, you really have to go quite a distance before you get to where you need to go. Now, Mersa Marif, that's a bit too far. But Bukub, all of these areas need to be controlled or taken. Sidi Barani is the main one, of course, but you definitely are going to face enemy units at Bukub, so we need to push through here and take all this area and probably a few additional areas, if I had to guess. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this stream. If anybody has some questions, please put them down below. I want to save this game just